Hey folks, we're going to cook up some mixed greens here, southern style. I got a bundle of turnip greens and a bundle of collard greens. I'm going to braise them up in a nice braising liquid here. I got a couple of tablespoons of butter in here. Sauteing down whole onion here. I like quite a bit of onion in my greens, so I just went ahead and put the whole onion in there. And I also got a whole diced red pepper. I like it in there too. And I'm just going to let this saute until that softens a little bit. And we'll get this braising liquid put together. Get these greens processed and in the pot. Be back in a few. Alright, we got that softened up there a little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder. About 2 teaspoons. If you're using minced garlic, I'd put about a tablespoon in there. And then I'm gonna add some hot sauce. About a tablespoon. I got some chicken broth here. That's 4 cups of chicken broth. I got some red pepper flake. I'm going to put about a teaspoon and a half in there. Some Sazon Goya. I'm going to put about a half of a packet in there. It's about a quarter of a teaspoon. You can use Accent too. I don't want to hear about MSG. I like MSG. And then I got a smoked country ham hock I'm going to put in there. You can use bacon, smoked turkey, turkey neck, salt pork. There's all kinds of meat you can use in here to flavor this braising liquid. But I like the country ham the best. And I'm going to let this here simmer for about 10 minutes and all come together, and then we'll get these turnip greens processed. Be back shortly. Alright, braising liquid over there is bubbling. I got a colander here full of collard greens and turnip green. And I've went through and de-stemmed them and triple washed them. You got to make sure these are washed real good. If not, you might get a gritty green, and then it'll ruin your batch. So that's how I do mine, and then I just kind of go through here and rough chop them like this and throw them right over in the pot. Depending on how fine you want them, you can go back and cross chop, but I like mine not too fine, so that's how I'm gonna do mine. And just keep chopping and get them in the pot. We're gonna let them simmer for a little while. And that braising liquid, that country ham in there. If you're not using a smoked meat, put you a little bit of liquid smoke in there. You need a little smoke on your braised greens. And the Sazon Goya, that's MSG, some paprika, some garlic, dehydrated onion, and a coloring is all that's in there. But if you're not going to use that, use Accent. I really think MSG makes southern greens really good. So Sazon or Accent, one of the two. And if you don't have no liquid smoke, put you a little bit of Worcestershire in there. And I'm using an unsalted chicken broth. And I'm going to taste it here in a little while and see what it's going to need as far as salt. So we'll let it go a little while and then taste and adjust. So I'm going to keep cutting and get these loaded up. We'll be back shortly. Alright, got these greens simmering over here. Looking real good. get ahead and taste that braising liquid, see if it needs any adjustments. Nope, ain't messing with that. Perfect. Got just a little bit of heat on it going down from that red pepper. That's the way I like mine. If you don't want any spice on it, leave the red pepper flake out and maybe even the hot sauce. But I like to add a little bit of vinegar to my braising liquid. So I'm gonna let these simmer here pretty low for about 30 minutes or higher. It don't matter. I like to cook mine to death. And once that ham hock is falling apart, I'm going to put some baking soda in here. Just a little bit of baking soda. It gets rid of any bitter taste in them turnip greens. And a pinch of sugar. And then I want this this braising liquid to reduce down and turn into a good pot liquor. Go with them greens. But right now the seasonings is perfect. You just have to taste it a few times through your cook here. But I'm gonna let these go probably for an hour and then put that soda in there and see if it needs anything else. We'll be back shortly. Look at these greens. They've been going about an hour here. See what this country ham's looking like. It's hot. It's starting to fall apart. I'm gonna give it another 30 minutes or higher till that old ham there come apart. Let's see what this tasting like. I'm gonna add a little more broth in here, so it's going to simmer about another hour. Just let that ham get in there a little more. Ooh, that smells good. Whole house smelling good. Let them go a little longer and then put a little soda powder in there and some sugar. Be back later. Now, it's been going about 30 more minutes. I think that country ham hunk there is pretty well headed. I'm going to pull it out and let it cool off. And I'm going to chop it. What meat's on there, I'm going to chop it up and put it back in the greens. I'll be back shortly. Alright, I got that meat pulled off the bone. There wasn't much there. Most of it was bone and fat. I'm going to put it back in the pot. Now I'm going to leave the lid off of this. And I'm going to let this braising liquid simmer on down till we get a good pot liquor made there. About 15 minutes. And then put a little soda and sugar in there and we'll be done. Alright folks, that's simmered down there a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of baking soda in here. Do about 1/4 teaspoon. And I'm going to put some sugar in there. That's 1/4. That's 1/4. That's 1/4. Do 3/4 teaspoon. Now, we'll let that go there about 10-15 minutes. And these are going to be ready to go. Got some cornbread over here ready. Sop up some of that pot liquor. Be back shortly. Folks, these old greens is done. 1 hour and 50 minute total cook time on them. Go ahead and get some bowled up. Oh, it's gonna be good. Need a little cornbread for that pot liquor. Woo! And I'm going to put just a splash of apple cider vinegar on mine. And that's it. Country style braised greens, mixed greens, been kicked up a notch. All the ingredients will be in the description, and some alternatives and options as far as preparing these. Everybody do greens different. It's like gumbo, 1,000 ways to do greens. It's how I do greens when I want spicy greens. Till next time, folks. Peace out.